Let's keep it real. You need or want to make an extra $1,000 this week. That's why you clicked on this video. Let me know in the comments if I got you, if that's right. You clicked on this video for a reason. So we're going to figure out a way together for you to make some extra money. That number may be a little bit lower, maybe a little bit higher, but we're going to work on this together. And what I think you should do is write down these ideas that I have and that I'm going to showcase for you based on what other people that I've helped have done recently. And I want you to circle one or two of them at the end of the video that you're going to try this week because you want to be able to do this. You want to be able to stack whenever you want to or need to, whenever you find yourself in a pinch or whenever you want to treat yourself. You want to do something that's extra outside of your budget. I'm on a mission to help 1,000 people become millionaires over the next decade. But to get to your first million, which is the name of my book, you have to get to your first 100 and your first 1,000 and beyond. And especially if you work for somebody else, you probably make that amount of money in a week or a month or a few days. But wouldn't you love to be able to make that money whenever you want to without clocking in, without someone else telling you where to go? Now, the first thing I want you to do is if you work for somebody else, I want you to do a calculation. Take out your phone or do this just by hand, but I want you to calculate how many work hours it would take you to earn $1,000. Ooh, for some people, that number is going to be surprising and it's going to wake you up. It's going to jolt you. Um, it's a lot. It's a lot. And for some people, right? For some people, maybe they make $1,000 an hour, but most people make between 10 and $75 an hour in the United States. So I want you to have that number in mind. Write that number down and have it in front of you during this quick video. I'm going to tell you a few ways that people, entrepreneurs that I have been working with. I've worked with thousands of entrepreneurs and I'm working with several hundred right now. A few dozen are private clients. And I'm going to tell you exactly what some of them have told me on camera in interviews and in our calls, what they've done to make an extra 50, 100, 200, even thousands of dollars. And you're going to circle one or two of these to say, I can give that a try this week. Okay. The first thing that comes to mind from a couple of people actually is writing or rewriting bios on social. And specifically, both that come to mind were writing on Instagram. So one of them had never done it before, and one of them had done it before, but both of them made $100, $100, 160, 150 here and there, just like within a couple of hours. And it was part of a challenge that I have. I have a 5-day challenge that I do, but it was really like, from scratch for a couple of them. And what they do is they they look at people's bios. They don't do much cold outreach. They basically go to people or post on their social. And if you're going to do something like this, you have to make sure that your bio is on point, right? But they post on their social and they say, "Hey, I'm doing a deep dive of your platform, of your account. I will look at your profile, I will study it, and I will tell you what tweaks you can make to optimize it for the best outcome." So this other person who is your client may want to have better conversions on their sales, or they may want to just have more viewers and more subscribers, or they may want to just have a better looking social platform for themselves. And this is one way to do it. And if you're saying to yourself, well, how do they do it? How do they know how to do that? Both of them talked about how they use Chat GPT to help them learn. Chat GPT was their teacher. They asked questions. They even asked Chat GPT, what question should I ask you to help me learn more? That's a big hack. So any of these things that I'm listing or any ideas that we come up with, if you go to ChatGPT and have a conversation with it like it's your college professor or your tutor or your mentor, You're going to get something. You may not get 100% of what you need, but you're going to get something more than what you already have. The next one is teaching people how to start their own journal business. So this was another person that I've worked with, right? They make these beautiful journals and they're very cool on their own. I think they charge $30 or $40 for these journals. But then they noticed that people were saying, "Oh, I like the way these journals turned out. How did you do that?" And on top of that, they were asking, "How did you turn that into a small business?" So instead of just selling the journals or just selling, the items that came from like the physical items, they sold the teaching. And not like necessarily in a course, which you can do. That is another way that was on the list. But they said, okay, look, I'll get on a call with you because I'm going to walk you through for an hour, step by step, not only how to do this, but how to do this for you, customized for your situation. And they charged $100 for that. And their prices will go up and have gone up. But when they start, they charge $100. So if you think about doing the bios, that's $100. Doing the calls, that's $100. These start to stack up and you're not working for someone. So go back to that number. How many hours does it take you to make $100? If it's more than 1 hour to make $100 today, you need to consider this. I'm going to give you some tough love. You need to consider this right now. Okay. Another person who's in my ecosystem and who I've been working with and helping did an interview where she talked about how she was paid $100 to get on a call with someone for about an hour to talk to them about being a caregiver and not having burnout. She's a caregiver. She's been a caregiver for 8 years, even when she didn't even know that is what it was called. But she's been taking care of a family member as a caregiver, and she's learned a few things along the way about boundaries and about burnout. And she made this offer out into the world on LinkedIn, I believe. Somebody responded the same day and said, "My coworker could use this. I'm going to buy this for my coworker." So that particular person was thinking through my lab framework, lab, LAB. That's when you figure out what you can offer because you might be saying, "Oh, I like these ideas, but that's not for me." Let me show you how you decide what you can offer. Okay. Lab, LAB. It's something that you've done all three of these things with. The L stands for learn. So you've learned something either through experience or through study or both. The A is for applied. I have done this. So I learned it, but I did it as well. I applied it in my life. And then the B is for benefited, meaning I learned it, I did it, and then it helped me. And if you can think of something in your life where you learned it, you did it, and then it helped you, that's your lab framework, and that's your offer. And there may be more than one to choose from, but that's the foundation of it. It's the foundation of your offer. And when I say offer, I mean something that you can sell. Oh, this is cost $50. This costs 30. When I was doing it, when I was trying to make ends meet a few years ago, I would do a $30 phone call to teach people how to start a blog because I had a blog. I had learned it, applied it, and then benefited from it. So I taught other people. And $30 is not a lot of money, but $30 for me at the time made it possible for me to eat, made it possible for me to have my mom eat while we were homeless together. And it was something that I could control. And I couldn't get a traditional job. I tried, but I didn't have any clothes and I didn't have an address. And, it was a lot to it. Didn't have transportation, that kind of thing. And those $30 hookups meant the world to me at the time. So what I hope you're doing now is you're adding this up in your head, adding this up. Another person, just recently, I just posted this recently. He told me that he made his $100 offer. I think he did a $150 offer, $150 twice, and like in the same day. And that was from teaching other people how to optimize AI prompts. So, have you been playing around with AI? Have you been learning AI? And if so, Have you been working with one or two very specific AI platforms? You may have been dabbling around, but like maybe you're on ChatGPT all day long, or maybe you're on Lovable all day long, or something all day long. And maybe a month ago or 2 months ago, you were not an expert. You probably even didn't even know what some of it was. But today, because you've spent so much time with it, you are ahead of someone else. That is all that matters. It doesn't matter if you're like this incredible expert who's spent years learning about AI since you were 5. What matters is, do you have a command of the language of AI that people around you don't have, or a particular platform? And if you are playing around with AI, what you may not realize is that a lot of people are not. It's like a little bubble we're in where we're in it now. I know a lot of people use ChatGPT, but most people use it in a very basic way. So if you have figured out anything, or if you've learned anything from my videos, take it, run with it. The point of it is, you can take almost anything that you are learning and turn that into an offer. And on top of that, you can add this layer, this top of funnel. Think about how a funnel is shaped, and think about how you want to sift through and you want to filter your best clients. But at the top of that funnel, YouTube videos, LinkedIn, Substack, we can go on and on with this list of where you could be, but you choose one or so of these platforms. I'm going to say YouTube because that's my favorite, but you choose one. If you like writing, Substack. If you like videos, YouTube. If you like quick videos, it might be Instagram or TikTok. But you're going to choose a platform. You may even say LinkedIn because LinkedIn is very strong. You'll choose a top of funnel platform, and because you're thinking through, oh, I'm actually learning this, I know a little bit more than the next person. Let me write about it. Let me write about my journey. Doesn't have to be, oh, how I made $1 million last year. There's plenty of people who are doing stuff like that. Yours doesn't have to be that story. Yours should be your story. I think of a couple of people I have in mind. One woman is a woman who, she was homeless and she was living out of her car, and she pressed record, and her video said, "I'm homeless. I live out in my car." And she got hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube. She got monetized within hours or days. So YouTube paid her eventually for part of that video and videos after that. And she was able to set up a couple of things, digital products online, and she's no longer homeless. I saw her do that. I also saw this woman. I watched some of these cruise videos, these different people who have cruises. This woman is living on a cruise or living on cruises, and she used to be broke, and she said she was in poverty. It's called From Poverty to Paradise. And now she lives off of cruises, but not only that, her YouTube monetization, so that top of funnel, and her affiliate links where she tells people to go and take these courses that she didn't even build. She just uses her affiliate link and sends people to it, which is brilliant. She makes enough money to pay for her entire expenses for all of the cruises, eating, all of it. And she does this through just a funnel of YouTube to, hey, check out my affiliate link. Watch my videos so I can get paid by YouTube. Go to the affiliate link, learn about cruising. You pay a couple $100, you save a couple $1,000 on your cruises. We all win. It's just, it's there for the taking. It's there for the taking. And I had a couple things happen recently. I lost a couple of people. My family lost a couple of people recently. And um, also watched recently a couple of people talk. So I watched Stephen Bartlett and I watched Bill Perkins. Stephen was talking about kind of his life passing him by because he's so determined and so ambitious, and but he's aware of it, and it's something that he's figuring out, because it's kind of a catch-22. He's ambitious, so he's creating a life for himself and his loved ones that almost can't be rivaled. And if he were to slow down, he believes he would lose a lot of that. But in doing so, he's missing out on so much, right, of that life. And then Bill Perkins is a wealthy guy who does a lot of investing and other things. And he was talking about his book where he talks about the book is called Die with Zero. So his whole philosophy, he's in his 50s, and his whole philosophy is you have this one life, and not only do you have this one life, but when you get older, you kind of don't have the ability to do the same things you could when you were younger. So older meaning 55 plus. So his philosophy is you should earn money and you should spend money and you should not save and you should not uh, uh, give your offspring an inheritance. You should just die with zero. You should just earn it, spend it, live life, have fun, do your thing, be fulfilled. And there's some back and forth about that, but I'm digging it. I read his book a few years ago, and maybe during COVID, and I can understand what he's saying. Listening to that when you're dealing with grief at the same time, and I'm 44, uh, thinking about my own mortality and that of my loved ones. I'm not gonna be quiet about you succeeding. Like I'm not gonna stop posting about you having the ability to make more money, and I'm not gonna stop encouraging you to live your life now. There's no way to at this point. Um, it would have all been in vain, all of the suffering, all of the pain, all of it. Ooh, look at me, I'm rapping. Okay, anyway, point of this is I'm recording a video for you at after midnight because I want you to win and because there's so much at your table. I know there's so much going on. I know it. Um, but we can't sit here one paycheck away from destruction. Like we can't be part of that. We have to figure some other stuff out. And the people that I have been interviewing, they're actually having fun with this. They're having fun having those calls. And let me just tell you, if you want a very fast way to do it, and you're like, oh, okay, I want to do this. I like the idea, but I don't have like my whole setup, and payment, website. I would suggest a company called Stan, Stan. You may have heard of it. If you go to stan.store, you can sign up. There is a free version and then there's a paid version. I think the free version, has limits. So you do some research. But in either case, even if you do the paid, I think it's like 25 bucks for a month. And imagine you make $100 in the first 3 days, and so that $25 doesn't really matter. But in order to do that, you got to invest in yourself, right? So if you go to Standout Store and you you sign up, you can do like one-on-one calls, you can do lead magnets, you can do digital products, webinars. There's so many things you can do that I teach and that you can find on this YouTube channel. But I want you to try to get rid of the excuses. If you're still here, if you made it to the very end of this video, I want you to write the words, I can do this. I can do this. That's going to be my way of knowing that you watched the whole video. And that's my way of knowing that you are, um, you're investing in yourself. Not just money, but time, effort, belief, all of that. Okay. It's I can feel it. I can feel the energy coming through the screen. I know you're gonna do it, and can't wait to hear from you. Let me know in the comments what you do this week. Let's go.